Ba-ba-ba-ba! It's your boy, DJZ. And I want you to check out my man Cody over on YouTube at Rasslin Rage. Check his website out, r2youtube.com, and give them a follow, give them a subscribe, give them a like. Ba-ba-ba-ba!
Oh! This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. I am one of the hosts of Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly, Cody Fleming. Joining me tonight, first is the Michigan's only MC in independent wrestling. That is right, Johnny Delicious. Hello, sir. Welcome back for another.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then we have the 2021 Indie Idol himself, the very first. Nobody can ever take that away from him. He is the very, very first Indie Idol. That is right, the one, the only Alex Van Zant. Hello to you, and welcome back, sir.
What's going on, Cody? How are you?
Oh, you know, it was a long weekend of lots of wrestling, so that's a good thing.
Good.
But it is time for the fifth round judging for the promo contest. First off, I would like to say, before we get right into it, I would like to say that this has been a very good group of people. I've seen a lot of growth here, and, you know, maybe there's people that might not have got a lot of wins, and those people that didn't get all those wins, I've seen a lot of growth out of. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of things happen that in what, not even, how I want to say this is, they have we've learned that they are able to listen, because a lot of people don't listen anymore. And they're able to take the critiques that they were given by the judges and use them to make themselves better, which is exactly what this is all about. Obviously, we all want to win, but at the same time, we got to learn how to lose before we can win sometimes. All right, so we're going to start this off with, I'm going in the order that the matches were released on YouTube. So we're going to start it out with Solomon Stone versus Heather Blue. So speaking of somebody that hasn't got a bunch of wins, you know, Heather Blue. But each promo, in my opinion, has consistently gotten better. She's taken the critiques that she's been given from the judges, and she's made herself better. What I liked about this one specifically was I feel like she felt a whole like more comfortable in this promo than in the previous ones. Like, I almost felt like she was a little bit nervous in some of the other ones. I don't know if she was, but it came off as she was to me. And what I really liked about her promo in this one is she told me a story. And I was intrigued by her story, and it made me want to watch the match. And at the end of the day, that's what the promo or any promo really should be, is says, I want to go see your match. I want to go spend the $15-20 to go to this show and watch your match. And while I'm there, I'm going to catch all this other cool stuff. Solomon Stone, you know, he didn't turn in a promo he made last week or last 2 weeks ago or whatever. And he made light of that, and he apologized and all that good stuff. But in this promo, I just, if I were to take the two of them and break them down and go, which one made me want to go watch this match, I'm gonna have to give it to Heather Blue, and that's how I scored it, was giving it to Heather Blue.
It's pretty interesting. So I guess I'll start with Heather. The improvement since the beginning is just like insane, to be honest with you. It's night and day. She knows what she's doing with her hands now. She's much more confident. She told the story. She said exactly how she's going to beat Solomon. She brought up the fact that she has nothing to lose. He has everything to lose. So that was really good. She really talked a lot about the lumberjack aspect of it. I liked that quite a bit. She got a 10 for context on this for me. However, I would have liked to see her say her catchphrase instead of just like show it. I think finding a way to like work that in is part of getting over who your character specifically is. And she seemed to have found her character a little bit better since the beginning. That's really good. There's some more depth to be added there. A little bit more, maybe just figuring out what Heather Blue does. Aside from, she is relentless. She is, as underdog character. I do want to see that fleshed out maybe a little bit more in the future. I think that would behoove her as a competitor, going down the line. But I did think this is her best one yet. Again, we got rid of the background. The background is still, you'll figure that out. There'll be time. There's time for that. You'll figure it out. Sometimes, once you get your character once you're comfortable in your character and you understand where your character is going to be, you can start filming in literal locations that your character would be hanging out, if that makes sense. And you'll be more comfortable in cutting those promos and not feeling so awkward if possibly someone passes by and sees you. As far as Solomon goes, I really like that he was watching the TV sideways, very WWE. His character is very WWE. It's very, big time. And he brought that to the table this time. I thought this was a very good pure promo. I liked that he was talking about sky blue, blue meanie, talking about how oh yeah, everyone chooses the blue name. I liked that. Brought up the inexperience. And I thought that his overall just promo style, it shows why he deserves a seat at the table, why he should be in the finals. I think he's very, very good. I did give this one to Solomon, 37 to 34. I really liked Solomon's promo actually quite a bit, to be honest, because it was just a Solomon Stone promo, and it was a good one. And it's hard to really critique what Solomon does because it's such a good pure promo. So, I mean, the context was there, the confidence was there, the emotion was there, the wordplay was there. I really like that promo, so I give it to Solomon.
Fair.
I'd have to agree. I gave it to Solomon myself. He's watching his promo is that promo that you would see pop up in the corner during his opponent's velocity match, right? And he's going to cut that promo on you while you're having the match, while you're getting over in the ring. But yet he's still able to get his match over with you. And that really does play it. He really is doing more bigger time things. You could see it in his confidence. You could see in the way he talks. I do like the fact that he didn't shy away from the fact that he didn't turn one in last round. And he was able to speak on that. He brought it up to his character though, right? That was his character. He had things to do and there was other things he had to do. That was great. And he, like I said, and even though he was watching that TV and he was doing the little jabs and everything, that's exactly what it should have been. Because he still got his point across, right? Heather Blue, everything that they said, this is your best spoken promo I've seen to date. Everything I've seen, even outside of this, everything I've seen from you, this is the best spoken promo you've done. You called back a lot, which is really good. And this is one thing that I really scored you high on your context was you called back his old promos. You called back old things that he's said and things that he's done, as well as yourself, which is really good. And I think anybody that's been paying full-blown attention in story build-up and everything, that's where it's at. And that was awesome. You'll get used to it. You'll get a little more confident in where you are, what you're doing, how you're doing it and everything. And just keep doing the way you are. But, just remember, in my opinion, the underdog is overrated now. Everybody's done it. It's outplayed. Don't be the underdog. Yes, you're still a rookie. Yes, you're still going that relentless. Just play off the relentlessness versus being an underdog. And I think that'll really take you for the next step. But Solomon Stone, you took it with this one fairly, but I definitely gave it to you just for the overall fact of if I was on a show and this promo came up, this is the promo I'm watching, and this is the reason why.
Right. So there you go. So Solomon Stone wins that one. I gotta, I have to go back. We'll go through some things later on, but we're gonna move on to the next. TJ Meyer and Mongo. This one, I have this one tied. I really do. I have this one tied because the last promo from TJ was really high in emotion. Where this one, I don't feel it as much. I don't feel it as much. But I feel like we talk about dropping the F-bomb and using it well. He used it well here. I think it was perfectly timed at the end, and you felt it, right? I feel like he kind of kept it simple. I don't know if this is the time to keep it simple. Mongo is doing different things. Mongo took a little bit of what a TJ did last year with the words and stuff and used it. And then I enjoyed this promo. I really did. I enjoyed both the promos. I think Mongo is stepping outside of what he's used to sometimes now, especially on the video editing side of things, which is cool to see. I've scored TJ pretty even down the board, but I have to give a lot of emotion I gave a high emotion to Mongo because I don't know, man. It was something about I don't know how to say it. It's just the way he carries himself in the promo. You feel it, man. You feel him, and you want to be a Mongoloid. You want to be part of his following. So, but I tied them because I swear to God, I did not even mean to do it. I actually, scored one, scored the other, and they tied.
All right. It's not a bad thing that they tied, right? It's the scoring that we do, right? We've had ties before in the past. Right. I'm gonna go with let's start with Mongo, right? Okay. So Mongo, this is the new Mongo, right? This is the Mongoloids Mongo promo. This is the king of the Mongoloids. This is exactly what I want to see. And you're right. He is jumping around. He is changing. But he's also still bringing aspects of his real wrestling career into it, which is great. The Brutus thing, throwing that in there. They're becoming a new tag team. And the things that he's done, the past matches that they've had with TJ and stuff like that. It's really good. I like that he also used his anger towards TJ from before and what he's going to change this time. That was really nice. But the thing that I really liked about this is it was very short and to the point.
Yeah.
Right? This was a short promo for somebody that should be short in promos, especially being the Michigan-made monster, right? I think getting to that you are that monster point is really what's going to get you over. This one, though, even though it was short and to the point, there was a secondary point, and I don't know whether I loved it or hated it. My guess is when I scored this, I didn't like it as much, but the more and more I go back and think about it, not only did you sell the match, you sold your freaking merchandise. So I don't know if that's what I was looking for or whatnot, but when I scored it, I definitely scored TJ up. Again, 1 point. These were all so close for me. But Mongo, looking back at it, I would have tied it, but I'm just going to go with my first one so we don't have to deal with another tie aspect of it. I'm sorry. TJ, TJ, I really enjoyed the change of the backdrop. I liked that you were allowing Mongo to pick his Mongoloids and you were playing up the Mongo character. And I think that's what really got it for me, was that you were playing up the Mongo character, but you weren't afraid. And you were still going to do what you were going to do and what you had to do. And you popped me with the way you said, I'm going to fucking kill a monster. That won me over. And I think that's where I really gave it to you in that. But like I said, so we don't have to deal with it. I apologize, but Mongo, I have to take it. Give it to TJ.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Do we have a tie?
Yes.
Do we have a tie?
Oh, God. Yes.
Oh, no. So now we got to go to the points.
This is all right, let me tell you.
I tried it.
I tied them too.
Oh, no.
I was like, no, I can't tie them. So I watched it again and again. And so, okay, let me get my critiques first.
Now I know why you were reacting the way you were when I said they tied.
I was like, oh, no.
And then you just keep it shut and let it go. See, that's how you know you're a professional.
Oh, by 1 point, I gave it to. Okay, all that aside, what I liked, what I didn't like, critiques, whatever. Okay, so with Mongo, I actually did like that you got over your merch because that's part of his character, right? That's part of the character itself, is that he sells his merch as part of his character. Like I like that a lot because no one else really like does that. He's been gone after for it. He's made it part of his thing. He's like, I like that a lot. I like the beginning, how Mongo was hunting, and then it switches back. He brought up Brutus. He brought up their past. He brought up the fact that TJ got a cheap win over him last time, and he didn't like that. I like that quite a bit. Now, TJ did the same thing. He brought up how he beat him the last time. I loved in my notes when you talked about it, Cody, actually, about how using the F-bomb when you need to, he did it exactly when it needed to, and he did it really well. Both of these promos were short and sweet. TJ's was a little bit more short and sweet. I really liked the location where you shot. I like that you were banging your crowbar, making it very obvious. But on this, I felt like you left a little bit of meat on the bones. I thought there was a little bit more that you could have said there, TJ. I thought that you said what you said well. But again, you did bring up the fact that you beat him okay, and that, you talked about how his lumberjacks could be like mongoloids, whatever, like more there. I wanted more there. When you were talking about that, it's like, tell me more about how that's going to play into it. I thought they were both very, very good, to be totally honest with you. But based on creativity, I gave it a little bit more to Mongo, actually, for a 36-35. Even though I had them tied at first, I had to rewatch it, and I decided with the creativity, it would go to Mongo.
So we still got to go to points. We got to go to points.
What do we do now?
It's going to be a straight up tie because mine were 32-31 TJ.
Yeah.
So it's a straight up tie between both of them, no matter what.
Damn it. Damn it.
All right, well, Cody, you get to deal with the scoring, so I'm going to leave that to you. So we have a tie. TJ and Mongo, you both did awesome, and you guys get a tie because there's nothing we can do at this point with that. We tied.
There's a tie. All right. Wow. That was crazy. So now we have...
I didn't want to give it a tie. I did not want to give it a tie.
I know, but it was hard not to. I didn't either.
Sucks. By not
and
wanting to give it a tie, we forced a tie. That was the worst. And it's like, the problem is, like, I don't want to go back and give them a tie now. And I'm sure, like, Johnny doesn't want to do the same thing because it's like, we rewatched them back to specifically not let that happen. So it would be a disservice to do so.
Right.
Like,
now, this one I don't have tied. I can tell you that. This is Tony Garrix versus Road Rash. So, the creativity on this one for Road Rash, I really, 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 really enjoyed this promo. How out on a boat, being Road Rash. Could you imagine being on that lake and Road Rash is on the lake cutting a promo and you see this? Like, my Lord.
I'm not going on that lake again.
Right.
That's for sure.
I gave him a high score in context. I gave him a high score in creativity because that was very creative. Emotion. He's always going to score high on emotion because he's always bringing that emotion. He's, love it, The end where it was like you thought the promo was done and it paused for a second and it was, no man!
Yep.
I loved it. So I definitely gave that one to Road Rash, and I'm, Tony Garrix. He's the character. He played the character, but I scored him low because he was in the car.
Yeah, Tony, your context was there. You spoke a lot about your character. But I'm just gonna say it, man. And it is, we're all busy. We all got things to do. I get it. It was car promo. I've openly stated my opinion on car promos. So I went with Road Rash on it. Straight nines all down the board. The thing that got him the most on it, though, was Road Rash. You adapted to Tony Garrix.
Yep.
You adapted to his character and you went after his character. Other people will talk about the character, but you straight up went at the character. You you took over as the character. You were your own character, but you're on a boat, dude. Like, you were rowing a freaking boat in your promo. It was awesome. The nomads thing at the end, I could have done without, right? But it is what it is. I like the pause. I don't know. There was just something about it. Maybe it was just because the first 2 times I didn't understand what he actually said. Right. But it is what it is. The thing that got me, the pop that I got here, was your creativity and your context of it, was the hammerhead sharks and the swarming of the hammerhead sharks. Using that as your character, but stealing stuff from Tony Garrix's ideal character. You got me on that one. So, Road Rash, you took the win on this one.
I liked that Captain Tony talked about turning him into like a literal road rash. I would have liked to see like, it's a car promo. You got pigs for that, of course. If you're going to do a car promo like that, like, make the car a part of the promo itself. I felt like Billy Ray Daniels did a good job of that last time. So yeah, good pure promo. I mean, you're always a good talker, Captain Tony. But Road Rash,
if it would have been straight up, I think it would have been way better.
Yeah. I mean, like, and again, you could have just done it when he got to venue. I really liked, or even just like pull over on the side of the road, do a gas station promo. Like a gas station promo against like Road Rash makes sense too. You know what I mean? Doing it at a truck stop. But Road Rash, loved it. I liked the music at the beginning. It was like creepy sailor music. That was kind of cool. What would you do with the drunken sailor? I liked a lot. Again, the whole like nomads at the end, like, I like it. It's in character. It does kind of like scare the crap out of someone a little bit. So like, you don't expect it. So it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Oh, just gave me a little bit of a seizure there. But like, you know, I liked it a lot. It was one of my favorite promos. I am a 38, so there's not a lot to, you know, 10 on creativity, 10 on context. So loved that quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, 38 to 33, Road Rash.
All right, so there it is, Road Rash. I'm not going to say if he moves on to the semifinals yet because I can't confirm that as yet. So next up, now I think this is kind of hilarious, but it's because they're both my friends. But Mark Ross versus Josh Harper. All right, so Mark Ross cut a dad promo. He's there with his kids. What I loved about it, first of all, he's scooping ice cream, and it's not Happy Harper ice cream.
Yes.
So there's that. And then, if you don't really know, maybe you do notice, and maybe you don't, but he's wearing one of our shirts, and it's me hitting Josh with a ring bell. That's an actual picture that I really did do that. I didn't actually assault him with a ring bell. I'm like, I didn't really hit him, but he says I did. Anyways.
Do what you got to do.
Right. So I love that. Okay. Josh, he's Josh. He was Josh. That was Josh, right? He had a little bit of, comedy in there, but he was serious, and he was telling, he put him way up here, right? Context, creativity, it was there, but I dinged him on emotion, and that's how he lost to Mark on mine.
So,
okay.
So for me, I'll start with Josh. I thought Harper, this is his best promo for me personally.
Right.
Okay. Because I believed every word he said. He put over his opponent tremendously. He put over Mark. He put over the fact that he is his biggest fan. He talked about all of Mark's former characters. I thought this was the emotion was slight, but the emotion was there on believability. Right. And believable emotion is much more important for me than like random intensity, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like he was earnest, and that is emotion. And so I actually thought I actually gave him a pretty good score on emotion here. There were a few things where when he was talking, he did a good job of like letting other things breathe, but there were a few lines in there where Harper, you can let your points breathe a little bit more than you have. And what I'm talking about is like, you let like half a beat go, let a full beat go between things. Mark does that really, really well, where every time he says something, boom, he lets it sit. And then he says something and he lets it sit. And he says something and it lets it sit, because everything that he says, even if it might not be as much of a word vomit, it makes it very important what he's saying, and it lets it breathe, and it makes it, you know, you feel the emotion of what he's saying through that earnesty. And you did a good job of that this time, but there were a few extra lines in there, and there was more than one, so I didn't like go down individually to say them, but you could have maybe stretched this an extra 5 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds, leaving just the extra half beats in there when you were talking, to put over even more of your points, and I think it would have gotten you an even higher score. I liked the setting. You were right behind. You were in the freezer with your ice cream in the background. I liked Mark Ross talking about, you know, how he's not getting into the ice cream world. He would never challenge him there. So why are you challenging me here? I like, you know, all the little touches, the family man, the serving ice cream to his family. I really liked all of that quite a bit. It was a little bit short and sweet. I liked it quite a bit. And actually, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I tied them on this one. So
You're fired.
I know this is weird, but I did tie them on this one.
You're fired.
So. All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate you. Ties. All right. Harper.
Hey, I called winner, so.
Sure you did. That's very true. You did. Harper, you surprised me again with this one, because you're taking everything we say and you're actually learning and you are moving forward with it. Your fandom, your knowledge of pro wrestling, your knowledge of the person you are in the ring with, that you are going against is really where that emotion was there. Like ABZ said, that's where I won the emotion aspect of it. I was like, there is emotion there, because you can actually see he's like, man, I don't want to go against my best friend or like my favorite wrestler, but I have other friends that will help me if I need it, right? Like he did that. And the promos were both, and I don't know if these guys talk, so I'm just going to go this and hope that they don't. They both absolutely had small little details, Easter eggs, if you will, about everything. The ice creams in the back were all the guys that Harper is friends with, right? So even though he has those, he's like, look what I've done for them. And in reality, is there a Mark Ross ice cream? I don't know. Is there a 401k ice cream? I don't know, right? So you're saying he's your favorite wrestler, but it's not there. That's how I'm seeing it, right? He still is Happy Harper, so he still is bringing that. It was a little more serious. There was still some things. I guess I really wasn't expecting the change. The creativity of sitting in front of your freezer, wearing the aqua brush shirt that you were wearing, or no,
Keep Sweat.
You were wearing Keep Sweat one, right?
Yep.
So wearing that one and everything was beautiful. Then you switch over and you have Mark, right? Mark, dude, this was what I needed for this promo battle, like for you two. Like you're saying, everything you said, the words you said, like if I could give you context higher than a 10 on this, I would have. You're telling Harper exactly what not to do because it's not what you would do, right? And it's because you're friends with him that you're telling him this. And the scooping of the ice cream that's not Happy Harper ice cream made it even better. Wearing that shirt was there, awesome. The kids were making the ice creams in the back, right? I'm sure the kids had a blast being able to do ice cream again and everything. Mark, you can freaking talk. Small miss on, maybe it was just me, the lumberjack aspect of it was not there. But the way Mark says things and the way Mark talks about and builds up his opponents, holy crap. Like, Mark, I believed what you were going to say, but you also built up Happy Harper, which was awesome. So I give it to Mark.
So Mark wins. So that, okay. So there's that. All right. So now we move on to Fletch Malone versus Billy Ray Daniels. I really enjoyed, he's in front of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Fletch Malone there. He shows a clip of the Atlanta Falcons. He's got an Atlanta Braves hat on. He's in Atlanta, obviously, at that promo. Cool. I like the on-location type stuff. Brings a different aspect in it. It was really good quality video, too. I really enjoyed that. I think he's really finding his groove on this with the timing, because you gave him a lot of info on that. And I really think that he's taking it and using it, and he's doing a good job. Even at the end there, where he comes into the camera, adds that dramatic effect. You know what I mean? He takes it before he comes in, blows it out at the camera, says what he says, and end scene. I liked it. Billy Ray. So cigar was a nice touch. The cowboy old Western style. The tone in his voice, where he sounded like, it reminded me of a Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or something like that, and he's talking. That was cool. The only thing that really got to me was the bird poop on the bench. That I was bugged. It bugged me.
Yeah, that was there. It was there. This was a tough one for me. Billy Ray, the creativity that you went for and the creativity that you had was there.
Yep.
Your context, again, maybe I missed it. I felt that there was no mention of the stipulation. But I felt you wanted to fight him, which was good. And I felt that what you said was there. So either way, not a stipulation, said, it's fine. It was short and sweet, and it really shows like a generational difference, in my opinion, as well, between the two types of wrestlers that they are, right? Yeah. So I think that played a huge part into it as well. Fletch, I caught instantly where you were, which was great. I know the stadium, I know the hat, and all that, which was awesome. I'm not sure what the badge was, and I hate to be this guy, but like the fact that you were wearing that badge looked like a VIP type badge. I would have utilized that. You were in gear, so that badge could have played a part into it as well, but it is what it is. I digress. The editing hurt a little bit. I know you're still getting into the editing aspect of it, and I can see it in your videos. That caught me off a little, especially this late in the rounds. I really think that small piece played a little bit of a hard part into it. You still took it because I really like the way that, like you guys said, like the leaning in at the end and smoking and those little aspects. I feel like that really is what set me over, and the references of and where you were and being in the Lumberjack match. So I gave it to Fletch Malone by 1 point.
And I also gave it to Fletch by 1 point. I forgot to mention that.
And yes, the bird poop was, but you know what? Billy Ray's a man's man, so
he will sit in bird poop, damn it, and smoke cigars. Sorry, I had to ask that. I had to add that in there.
Yes, you did.
You guys said quite a bit of what I have written down here, to be totally honest with you. This is also kind of a tough one for me. I watched them both twice. So for Fletch, I really liked where you were. You've come a long way as far as understanding when to let things sit. Understanding beats was a lot better on this. You used your vape very effectively multiple times throughout the promo. I really liked that quite a bit. That got your character over a little bit more. And as far as the editing goes, so there's two ways to go about it. I think that would help you is if you know you're going to edit a clip in, I would either take an exaggerated pause, or I would literally cut and then go, because you can always like splice and go anyway between the two videos regardless, or just take the exaggerated pause. You can just have that blip there regardless if you choose not to edit anything in there anyway. The problem with just even taking a short pause there, cutting and going, is that you do kind of get what happened there, where a little bit of what you want, it kind of came between words, which isn't really what you want to do. However, very interesting that you choose the Atlanta Falcons offensive line to protect you. I don't know if I would pick the Atlanta Falcons offensive line.
Don't you do a sports podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Well,
he said
I
no.
like
He
that.
said, Billy Ray, you can get the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, okay.
So he was referencing
there we
Billy
go.
Ray getting those. Yeah.
There we go.
So he referenced Billy Ray getting the Atlanta Falcons.
I get the Colts offensive line. You get the
That's what it was.
Okay.
That's how I took it. Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
you can even bring the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, right. So as I rewatched it back, yes, Billy Ray did bring in the fact that it is a lumberjack match, but he just mentioned it for a second. I didn't do anything else with it. Didn't like that. But he did mention it at least. I did have to watch it back to see that. But the fact that I had to watch it back just to see if he mentioned it at all is an interesting one. Didn't really like that. I liked the overall demeanor. Yeah, very tough. Made it. Yeah, of course he's looking for a fight. I liked the cigar as juxtaposed to the vape. Very good. Again, I also gave it by 1 point to Fletch. So there it is.
Fletch gets the win there. Okay.
No tie.
Right. No tie on that one. Now,
No
there's
tie.
definitely not a tie on this one because I'm going to start this off and say I'm just a little disappointed because this was a dream matchup of Jamie Eternal versus Jeremiah Goldman. This would have been great to have them two go at it. However, Jeremiah Goldman does still submit a promo and concedes to Jamie Eternal. And he still talks a little shit in there, and he gets it in. As we said before, he did it the right way. So kudos to you for that. However, I don't know if there was anything he could have done with this one because Jamie Eternal, we talked about the turning up the dial to 11, right? Like the movie there. Okay, well, dude, I think he found 13 on this one because, wow, man, I really enjoyed this promo. It said a lot. It told us about his character. Not only did it tell us about his character, but he gave us a look into his mind a little bit too, because he's using himself as Lumberjack, the video editing, like the multiple dudes coming in and then saying shit on cue. Like, oh my God, dude, that's freaking awesome. That's next level promo shit right there, in my opinion. And if I still scored it, and I gave him a perfect score because I loved it.
Yeah, actually, so if I could, I want to bury the lead a little bit here going forward and say, okay, after talking to Davison after last week, I have decided that, I was just being petty to not give the extra point yet. So you know what? For last week, she gets a 40 from me. Because this week, Jamie Eternal gets a 40 from me as well.
Oh, snap.
It was as good as it gets.
Yeah,
this was editing. This was emotion 10. Character. If we could go with 11, it was very much there. The visual effects, and not only wasn't just the visual effects, right? But it was the visual effects making sense. Yep. They made 100% sense. So sometimes I feel like Jamie Eternal will do she has the ability to do these really cool visual effects. That's what he does. It's what his degree's in, it's what he does for a job. But sometimes it doesn't always make sense with what the context of the promo specifically is. It doesn't always necessarily make sense with the character or whatnot. But this time it made the most sense. The Lumberjacks or his other personalities. It felt like a Stranger Things. Like it felt like he was in the Upside Down almost.
I think that's what he was going for.
Oh yeah, I know that's definitely what it was going for, and felt it. And he's the king of strange style. Stranger Things has a new season. Get Jamie Eternal in the season. He feels like the next Demigorgon. You know what I mean? I loved it. So for Goldman, love that guy. He conceded exactly the right way. That's exactly how you should do it. Look forward to seeing him in the future. It would have taken a monumental effort to beat Jamie Eternal this week, or I guess you could have probably just hoped to tie. But I do think that Goldman, with all the effort, and with all the talent that he has, he could have possibly done it. But you know, it would have taken a monumental effort. It would have taken a promo of like his life to do it. I loved it though. As far as like Jamie Eternals goes, there's nothing really more I could ask for.
Nope.
Yeah, Jamie Eternal 40.
All right, you're gonna put it on me then, huh? I'm not gonna be petty, Jamie. You won me over. You got the second perfect score of this tournament from me.
Oh, that's
again,
the first two. All
amazing.
three of us.
Amazing editing, utilizing your different personalities, everything they said. But here's where it was. You guys might not have worded it like this. Jamie Eternal created emotion in this video. He didn't need to have emotion. He didn't show emotion. He created emotion where each one of us, looking at each one of those other people behind him, that's why I'm doing this, by the way, jumping in to say what they said, created the emotion of Jamie Eternal is going to kill Jeremiah Goldman. I want to see it. Everybody wants to see it. Everybody wants to see Jeremiah Goldman be killed. That's what it is. But he created that emotion. You could not know who Jamie Eternal is. You could not know who Jeremiah Goldman is. Watching these and then seeing him do what he did with his multiple personalities, you created every emotion that you needed in a promo, and it was perfect.
So there you hear that one. I can confirm that Jamie Eternal will be moving on to the semifinals with a record of 4-1. So we know that Jamie Eternal.
And next week, Alex Van Zant's going to talk to Jeremiah Goldman and rescind one of those points on Jamie Eternal just to be petty again, right?
Of course. I rescind the point. All right.
Get that little padded pocket, huh?
You got 39 now.
So what I would consider the main event match of this, right, at here, because that was like the co-main event. I was hoping it would have been the co-main event. However, card subject to change, right? So we have Josh Morris. Man, this was really hard. But Davis versus Davison Sarai. Josh Morris started off this competition with a loss. And we all said it. This was not what we had expected from him when he released that promo. Since then, he's been everything we've asked for. Since then. Yeah, there's some minor critiques, but he's been everything that we've asked for. And what I like, and I'm going to say this not just about this promo, but Josh Morris promos in general, since the second one and on, is it's a lot of pop culture infused with wrestling that you don't see. It's different. You don't see it anywhere. I don't, anyways. I don't see it on Fight TV. I don't see it on IWTV. I may be a little bit on Twitch, but that's it. You know what I mean? On those new edge things, right? The new platforms where everybody's now going to do these types of things. I see it a little bit of in Wrestle Circus, but out in Texas. But however, Davison Sarai, she brought it down a notch from last week, but I think you almost have to because that was way up here, right? And she had to bring it down a notch, but she still left the element of I can still flip the switch, right? And she got a 10 out of me in emotion. She got a 10 out of me in emotion because I legit want to watch her. Not only do I want to watch her promos, I am so excited when Friday rolls around and I know it's time to turn in promos. I'm waiting for Davison Sarai's promo. Every week, every time. I want to see it. And I don't care what match she's in. That's how good at promos she is. That's my opinion. Character, she got a 9. It was there. Context was there. Creativity, not quite there, but it was still a Davison promo. It was exactly what it should have been. I gave it to Davison. Davison wins. I dinged Josh on emotion a little bit. Just everything else was high, but the emotion, I want to see him get his butt kicked. But I don't know. I wanted to see her kick his butt more. That she got more emotion out of me. That's all.
Okay.
You took your fan favorite out of it. That's fine. Yeah. that's what you want on.
Right.
No, that's what makes it, right?
Right.
That's what makes the promo. That makes sense. ABC, go for it.
All right. So with Josh, I really like this promo. This is a very Josh promo. So it seemed like audio. There was like a little bit of an audio issue. It seemed for the beginning. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. But it didn't sound as clear as some of the other ones because when you're splicing in all like the applause and the this and the that with what it was, it was a little bit hard to hear what you were saying specifically, especially kind of at the beginning. I did like that you brought in your saucy stepdad dollar. I love that guy. Great cameo, the whole saucy fam. That was cute. I like that. However, this time it felt a little bit like, as much as I like all the pop culture references and stuff like that, I felt like the cutaways were a little bit distracting. It was a lot this time, like a lot. I don't know if it was more than last time, but like it was a lot though. And a lot of ones where it cuts completely away from you and onto just the cutaway. And it's like 1 or 2, okay, 4 or 5, too many. I felt like it made it feel a little bit choppy. Not that I didn't like the promo. It was very good. It was very Josh Morris promo. But, I have to nitpick a little bit here, coming down the stretch. We're coming here to, like, the top guys. You're in a top position. And that's kind of how I felt a little bit. Maybe a little bit less is more. But, because, like, I love the pop culture references. I love the little, like, cutaways. But, like, you only got 2 minutes. So, when you do too much of everything, nothing feels important, if that makes sense. Yeah. So
less is more.
Less is more. Well, do more with less.
Yeah.
So the ones that you put in there, do just like 1 or 2 and make them big. Maybe just 2. There were a lot this time. Not that there haven't been a lot the whole time, but it did make it feel a little choppy this time. Davison, you did scale it back. You said you were going to. I like the Mr. Sauce a lot reference. That was kind of cute.
It was.
I would have liked maybe a little bit more context into the Lumberjack aspect of the match itself. I felt like you could have done a little bit more. But yes, honestly, with both of these competitors, both Davison and Josh, I'm looking forward to their promos every single week. And this was the main event. Absolutely. 2 people who, elevated their game. I feel like for some people, Josh kind of came out of nowhere, but he really has been around for a little bit. He brings that up in the promo itself. He's been going for like 5 years plus, though a lot of people in this side of Michigan don't really know that. We brought up that Davison's a rookie, and Davison is a rookie, and it's very, very impressive. Like, but she doesn't sound like it at all. Like when she's talking, she sounds like she's been doing this, her whole life. And realistically, she has been talking her whole life, right? I mean, she's a therapist, what she does. Wordplay there, 100%. I did give this one to Davison by 1 point. So Davison gets this one with a 37, not the 40 that she had last week. And yes, you did get a 40 last week. Okay. So yeah, that was it.
I gave it to her by 2, just so we all are aware.
All right. So Davison Sarai, again, just like these guys, I want to hear you and see your promos every week. I was up in the air about creativity. I had to watch it again, right? I was up in the air about it. And I sit here and I think, should I have put you low in creativity? But then I go back, and what we've asked you to do every single week was go up and up and up as you win, based on your opponent. Now that I look at it, every single opponent has had a different context of creativity. Every single opponent has either gone this way or this way, whatever you needed, right? I feel you didn't need that with Josh, and that's why you did this promo. You didn't need to go to your dark side where you're kidnapping people and torturing people. You didn't need to do that with him, but you still spoke about knowing who Josh is and knowing why you don't have to do that. You already knew about the bat. You already knew about his friends and all that stuff, which was cool. So I think your long-term storytelling is phenomenal. I really do. The high points and the low points are really what created the emotion. I thoroughly enjoy emotion in our videos. We've talked about it numerous times. And it definitely is a step back from the last promo. But again, it didn't need to be the last promo. Like you were not against Jamie Eternal. You were against someone else. I would probably popped even more and created you or scored you higher had you done something more 2022 social media-esque, right? Like Josh did. So bring that over to Josh. creativity wise, this is Josh Morris from everything I've heard, right? And everything I've seen so far. Josh is 2022 social media, right? I look at Davison, and Davison is a total different generation than Josh is when it comes down to this stuff, and even seeing their promos. Josh is doing what is catching people's eyes. He is hilarious about it, and he is making it work for his character. This video, and I know that ABZ was like less with more, more with less, and all that, but like every single time something popped up, I was looking at it, but I was still hearing him. I felt that everything he did was eye-catching and did not make me lose interest in this video. So I gave him a creativity very high with it. So in this, and even though we already know the final outcome of this, I did score Josh Morris by 1 point higher than Davison Sarai, just for the simple fact that if I were to put these two videos up on a promotions website that I ran, Josh's would have more views than Davison's.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. However, that's why we have 3 judges. And no offense. Yeah, no ties. No ties on this one. So Davison Sarai goes undefeated in the main portion of the contest. So we can say for sure Davison Sarai now, and I can tell you that we don't need a battle royal now. We don't. The way it worked out, we don't need a battle royal. So we know who's making it to the semifinals right now. So, and I'm going to tell you. Are you ready for that? So here it goes. Are you all right? Write this down. No. So
yeah, no, I'm going to need to.
Right. So I don't know who's going to face who yet, but TJ Meyer and Mongo move on to the finals or to the semifinals.
Semifinals.
Yep. Semifinals. Jamie Eternal moves on to the semifinals, and Davison Sarai moves on to the semifinals. Will we get the rematch that we think may happen? Oh boy. If we do, it's going to be in the finals. So I will let everybody know we're going to the semifinals of Indie Idol. I do have an announcement, by the way. So I don't know, you might know this, Mr. Delicious. Do you know this?
Let's find out what you're going to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I reached out. ABZ and I talked about having a guest judge for the semifinals. Well, we had somebody in mind, but I'm not able to get a hold of that person. However, I reached out to somebody else, somebody I enjoy a lot. And I've reached out to the one and only godfather of Michigan Independent Wrestling, and he will be our special guest judge for the semifinals of Indie Idol. So, yay, it's going to be fun.
There it is.
Yeah, so DBA will be joining us in 2 weeks for Indie Idol. So,
do me a favor, just make sure you tell him that the promos, the live judging starts at 5, so he is here by 7. Because that ain't gonna happen. Nah, he'll be here. So just tell him a little earlier.
That's great. I love it.
Give him a buffer time. Give him a buffer time.
Right. So I'm gonna, after I get done here, I'm gonna shut this down, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna write some things out, and we'll know our semifinal matches, and they'll have 2 weeks. Well, it'll be less than 2 weeks, but it's 2 weeks basically. 2 weeks to do their promo. Let me make some recommendations to the 4 of y'all. Okay. Mongo, TJ, Davison, and Jamie Eternal. If there was ever a time to turn it up, it is now. Because Jamie Eternal, Davison Sarai on a whole new level right now. And I'm not nothing against the rest of y'all, but you better turn it up. That's all I'm saying. You got anything you want to add? Don't do a car promo. Don't do a fucking car promo.
If you do a car promo, I'm not watching it.
I would say I'd stab you, but then I might get gimmick infringement by DBA.
Yeah, copyright infringement on that one. You have to put a little knife now. I learned that. I actually won a Facebook contestant. Like, I got suspended, but it was in quotations, and it had a little knife emoji, so I got out of it. That was pretty good.
Ooh, nice, awesome. All right, so
hey, really quick, Cody.
Yes.
Cody, who are 2s. Can we hear about the 3 and 2s real quick?
Yep, yeah. If you want to know who the 3 and 2s are, all right, 3 and 2s.
It's for the winning record anyway, so let's hear it.
All right, so Heather Blue ends up. So Solomon Stone 3 and 2,
Yep.
Heather Blue 1 and 4, TJ Meyer 4 and 1, Mongo 4 and 1, Tony Garrix 2 and 3, Road Rash 3 and 2, Mark Ross 3 and 2, Josh Harper 2 and 3. Didn't see that coming. I don't mean to be rude, dude, but you're competing with wrestlers. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. To get 2 wins is amazing. Fletch Malone finished at 2 and 3. Billy Ray finished at 2 and 3. Jeremiah Goldmain finishes at 2 and 3. Jamie Eternal finishes 4 and 1. Josh Morris finishes 3 and 2. And Davison Sarai finishes 5 and 0.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
This is going to sound crazy. Did it ever end up Mark Ross and Road Rash?
I don't think it did.
Those two.
No. But if the two of you want to throw a consolation battle out there, like a number 1 contenders thing, I don't know what you want to do, but like if the two of you,
Yeah.
no offense to anyone else, but the two of you want to do something and go one-on-one, please reach out to Cody, because I would love to see that, like just as a popcorn match, like let me get a little extra, whatever. But the two of you, I think, would be huge. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Not saying I wouldn't love to see any other ones, but those two, I'm not gonna lie, I had high hopes for.
Yeah, for sure. But I do want to remind everybody that tomorrow, Michigan Independent Weekly will be live right here on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel at 6:30. What do we do there? Well, we usually give you all the information to attend any event happening on the weekend or this week or whatever you want to say. However, we were not live for Rasslin Rage because we had a prior engagement. So we will also have the results from the weekend as well, because there were like 6 or 7. I don't know. There was a bunch of wrestling. So there was a bunch of that. We're going to have the results. We're going to have all the info for y'all to attend the upcoming events here in the state of Michigan. And then Wednesday, I got something else coming up too. I just can't remember. So anyways, so awesome sauce. Thanks to both of y'all gentlemen for coming out and doing the judging and all that good stuff. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Cody.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Cody, when are we back? What's the date that we're back? The 14th?
Let me look here. I'll tell you right now. So,
or is that the 20th?
It'd be the 20th. We're 20th.
Right, the 20th it is.
Yeah, 20th would be our judging, and the promos will be due on the 17th.
Exciting.
All right, guys.
All right.
To everybody out there, thank you for joining us. Make sure you smash the thumbs up, subscribe. Cheers, Mr. Delicious, and make sure you tell AB, give him a Starbucks so that he can bounce off the walls a little more. We'll see all of you tomorrow right here at 6:30 on r2youtube.com. That's the letter R, the number 2, youtube.com. We are out of here.
Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. Who's going down?